Hi, Dr. Mel again. We're busy with Newton's second law. We did a lesson on pulleys, which is a system. We're now going to do an example, which will be asked mainly with the mechanics, and you'll see they combine this with a few other applications. Now, let's jump right in. I've got a 6 kilogram block held at rest. So this is lying still there on a rough horizontal table. Now, as soon as you hear the word rough, it must ring a bell. There's friction. It is connected to another block of 3 kilograms. Can you see it hanging down there? By a light, inextensible string passing over a frictionless pulley. Now remember, this is a 6 kilogram. This is a 3 kilogram. It should not be moving, but in this case, there's friction there, but not enough to keep it there. So please bear in mind that this is going to move, and the 3 kilogram has a force on it. And you know what that force is. That force will be pulling it down, and you can work out the gravitational force. So the 6 kilogram will move to the right, and the 3 kilogram will move to the bottom. Now that's very important because that will indicate to you which forces are greater than the other. Let's have a look at a typical question. When the 6 kilogram block is released, it accelerates to the right, exactly what I just said, and experiences now kinetic frictional force of 24. Quickly think, if this block is moving to the right, what direction will the frictional force be exerted? Obviously to that side. So I've got a frictional force, and they already gave it to me. They said it's 24 Newton. Immediately you start thinking, what forces do I have? Which ones do I have to calculate? So they say I've got to ignore all the other friction, which is air, and they ask me questions. As in all cases, they ask me a theory question, Newton's second law. A free body diagram. In this case, on the 6 kilogram block, then the magnitude of the acceleration of the 3 block, and then the following statement, the acceleration is that, explain that. I just want to go back to this diagram. Remember they asked me the free body diagram of the 6 one. The free body diagram on the 6 one and the 3 one. You have to draw both of them, otherwise you can't do your calculations, even if they only ask the one. The second law is the acceleration will be in the direction of the net force. The acceleration is directly proportional to the net force. The acceleration is inversely proportional to the mass. Remember, that's where Newton got his law, that F net is equal to ma. That's the wording that will give you your 2 marks. Let's continue. A free body diagram of the 6 kilogram. Remember, it was lying on top of the table. It was attached with the string there, and remember I said there's a frictional force. So what will a free body diagram look like? Well, it's not only those 2 forces, you also have gravity going downwards, and because there's a surface, you'll also have the normal force. So let's draw the free body diagram and see if you can get your 4 marks. I've got the tension that side. I've got the friction going that way. Guys, see, my tension's arrow is larger than the friction. Why is that the case? Because the whole system is going to the right. So this force must be greater than that one. I also have the vertical forces, the normal, as well as the gravitation. In this case, these 2 would have equal arrows because there's no movement in the vertical. Be careful that you have your dot there, that all of these forces touch there, that you've got your arrowhead so that you can get your 4 marks. Following question. They ask me now to calculate the magnitude of the acceleration of the 3. Now immediately if it's 6 marks, you know there's going to be more calculations than just a straightforward substitution. Let's go to the 6 kilogram block. What do I know about the 6 kilogram block? I know there's a force pulling it that way as well as that way. So I've got F net is equal to the mass times A. And if it's the first time you use that equation, you get a mark for that. The F net is the T that's pulling to that side minus the friction. So it's T minus friction equals mass 6A. And if I recall, they gave you the friction. They said to us, there's a frictional force of, remember they said, there's a frictional force. Let me quickly get to that. Where did I have it? 24. So they gave me the frictional force. Be careful that you write that down because this is going to help you with your calculation. So I've got for the 6 kilogram, a T that's equal to 6A, and I'm going to take the 24 to the side, which is 24. Now I've got A as well as T as unknown. So I can't go further than that. But I also had a 3 kilogram block. Remember, they asked me in actual fact the 3 kilogram block. So let's go and have a look at the 3 kilogram block. The 3 kilogram was hanging like that with the gravity going downwards and just the tension upward. First again, the equation. Then I have it's going downward. So if G is greater than T, that is for the 3 kilogram block. And if I calculate the Fg, you know it is the mass times 9.8. And the mass times 9.8 will give you a value of 29.4 Newton. So I've got 29.4 Newton minus T is 3A. Let's go to making T the object of this calculation. So it's 3A. Take this plus to this side, makes it minus. And let's make it a positive T. So now I've got minus 3A plus 29.3. Now I've got A, I've got T, but do you see I've got the same T there? So I'm going to actually equate them to each other. Let's write the two equations next to each other. So I've got the T of the 6 kilogram and I've got the T of the 3 kilogram equations. That was equation 2. This was equation 1. What did I have here? I had 6A plus 24 equal T. Remember, here I had 29.4 minus 3A. And now it's math. It's not physics really, it's math. So I've got 6A this side. I've got that minus 3, which I'm going to take to this side. And I've got 29.4, and I'm going to carry the 24 to this side. And now I've got 9A is equal to 5.4. A is thus 0.6 meter per second square. Did we calculate the magnitude of the acceleration? Indeed. So it is accelerating at 0.6 meter per second square. Finally, explain the statement of getting that acceleration. Well, all it means, if it accelerates, you know your equation is the change in velocity in a certain time. So I can now say my velocity changes with 0.6 meter per second in every 1 second. And that should give you your 2 marks. Go back to your equation and write that in words. A more complex calculation, basically the same, but now they give me an object that's moving this side and they are giving me a distance. Block P, unknown mass. I've got no idea what the mass is. It's placed on a rough, so again you know there's friction. It's connected to a second block 3 by a light inextensible string passing over. So I've got T there and I've got T there. And they tell me it is hanging at 0.5 meter from the ground. Do you see they indicated that to me? When the system is released, the 3 kilogram block moves vertically downward and strikes the ground after 3 seconds. So I've got this block moving downward there in 3 seconds. I've got the distance. That should ring a bell. I can now work out a few other things. Ignore the effect of air resistance, and the 3 kilogram block hangs vertically as in the diagram. Questions. Define acceleration. We almost did that just now. Calculate the magnitude of the acceleration of the 3 kilogram, and be careful now, using equations of motion. Remember, we did that in section 3. This is section 4 Newton. So have a look at the equations of motion in section 3. And then finally, work out the tension of that string. So let's get going. What is the acceleration actually means? It means it's the change in velocity in a certain time. Or as your book will say, it's the tempo of change in velocity. The time, tempo, change in velocity, there you have it. So you've got to learn those definitions and you've got to memorize them. What did they ask me? The magnitude of the acceleration of the 3 kilogram using equations. And remember now, they said to me, it goes down 0.5 meter, which is actually the distance. And it takes that block, which is a 3 kilogram block. What time did it take? 3 seconds. So now I know I can actually work out with the equations of motion. I need to find the acceleration. So let's see. I've got delta y equals vi delta t plus a half acceleration delta t squared. This we did in section 3. I've got delta y. They just gave it to me in the diagram, so it's 0.5. I know it's starting from rest, so the initial velocity is 0 plus half. A is what they asked me to calculate, and they gave me the time as 3 seconds. Guys, remember the square there. Do not forget the square. So if you do that calculation, you will find this is equal to 0.45 A, and A is then equal to 0.11 meter per second squared. Why is this different to 9.8? Well, 9.8 meter per second square would be if it's falling just with gravity. Remember, this block is attached to a string there, so the acceleration downwards will be slower than 9.8. Therefore, we got that value. In a second question, they want me to calculate the tension in the string. And again, you've got two masses. You've got a mass there, and you've got a 3 kilogram block there. With the 3 kilogram block now, we determined the acceleration to be 0.11. So what do we know? We know we've got an upward tension there, and we've got gravity pulling it down. So let's work out the tension of T. That is 3 times 9.8, which gives me a value of, let me just write it down, 29.4 newtons. In which direction is the system moving? Quickly have a look. It's moving downward. Therefore, this is greater than T. So you write down Newton's second law. Newton said the net force will accelerate the mass. The net force is the difference between the T and the 29.4. Because it's moving down, 29.4 minus T is accelerating the 3, and I've got that acceleration. Minus T is then minus 29.07, and T is thus 29.07. Quickly check if this makes sense. I've got an upward force of 29.07 and I've got a downward force of 29.4. Which way will it move? Exactly, it will move downward because the downward force is larger than the upward tension. They asked me to draw a free body diagram for block P. Block P, remember they said I've got friction. So I've got friction to that side. I've got the tension to that side. I've got the normal force upward. And I also have the gravitation downward. That is a quick way of doing a free body diagram. Let's quickly have a look. The second question is determining this mass. Right. Let me go there. The free body diagram we just did. I'm just going to draw it again. I've got the T pulling that way. And we've got the value of T. We calculated it just now. We've got friction that side. We've got the normal going up from the surface and gravity going down. Finally, let's calculate the mass of block P. The mass of block P will be that block there, which we just had. It's moving that way. So we've got T that way and we've got F that way. So we can say F net is equal to MA. Which one is greater? T is greater than that one. The block mass we don't have. That's what they're actually asking of me. But we do have the acceleration. In this calculation, we've got the T. We just calculated it just now. We've got the friction. We've got all of the values except the mass. And I calculated the mass as 18.82 kilograms. 5 marks, guys. Remember, write down the equation. Get the relationship of the forces. Get the values that you have. Substitute that in there so that you can get the question that's asked. Really go accurately, work accurately, go towards this with a strategy. Know exactly what you want to do. Be careful. You might have a different answer. You might be in the range they usually allow you a range. Let's say, for instance, from 18.75 to 18.85. You can see that's more or less in the range. Finally, we had the mass. We got the 5 marks of a very, very complex calculation. Define the law. In this case, they asked you acceleration. Free body diagram, remember we're busy with pulleys. Now with pulleys, again, I'm going to stress this. See where they are moving. I could have 2 blocks there hanging on this one. If it's moving that way, you know these forces are greater. And remember gravity. And then finally, you've got to be able to apply this. Apply your mind, do a few of these calculations. In most textbooks, you'll find questions. Do past papers, but rely on the principles that Newton laid down many, many years ago. I hope you find Newton's laws as challenging as I do. Bye-bye.